Hi, welcome to Dispatch This 911 Unplugged. I'm Joe, and I'll be your host here. I've been dispatching for about 23 years. Obviously, I started out as a trainee like everybody else. Got through that a little over 6 months, became a dispatcher, became a CTO not long after, became a shop steward even sooner than that, representing the union, negotiations, dealing with that stuff. Became a lead dispatcher, and eventually became a supervisor about 15 years ago. Been an operations supervisor since then. Been in charge of lots of things. Currently, I'm in charge of new hire training, and kind of have held and been a part of every position kind of in between there. I've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel related to 911 for quite a while, and it takes a while to kind of figure out exactly what we want to do. And I'm not really 100% there yet, but I figure no better time than the present to get it started. My main goal is just to give everybody out there a honest, real look into the world of 911 and the life of someone that's involved in 911, especially after a long time. I think it can lead to lots of stuff. I'd like there to be training coming off of this channel, things about how to get hired, how to interview, all the way through how to take tough calls, how to handle a suicidal caller, how to deal with all the mental health stress that you have from this job and the mental health issues you deal with on the other end of the line with this job, and all the calls in between, from murder to barking dogs to vandalism to drug overdoses to how you feel about Narcan. What do you say behind the mic when you click your mute switch? Giving people an honest look. I think we're obviously portrayed as something completely different than what we actually are. What you see on TV or what you see in a movie isn't only, generally speaking, not even possible, but it's about as far from the truth as you can actually get. And I don't think the average citizen has any clue what we're actually doing there. And I know that from bringing in new hires and trainees, and sometimes the shock they have when they have no clue what they're actually getting into. But I think it could develop into conversations with other people that aren't involved in emergency services, other people that are involved, whether you're in the dispatch world or if you're in the police world, the fire world, EMS, or some other service, or nothing related at all. It'd be cool to have some conversations and then try to generate information and training for 911 professionals, because there really just isn't any of it out there. Stuff you find is, generally speaking, some reworked or rehashed crap that was for a police training or for a corrections training or a fire training or some other emergency services or even a completely unrelated field. They've adapted to 911 now because they found out they can make some money there. I understand that. Everybody wants to make money. I want to make money too. But I'd like for there to be some actual good training that was initially intended for us and the whole way through is for us. Something else you'll see often is things like a psychiatrist or a nurse or a mental health professional trying to tell a 911 dispatcher in a training how to handle certain types of calls. And they have no idea what we do. They don't understand our job. They don't understand what we're trying to accomplish. They don't understand anything about what we're doing. They understand what they do. And they think that means they understand what we do or what we should do. And they're wrong. They just simply don't understand and don't know. You might find someone occasionally takes the time to sit in at a dispatch center for a few hours or even for a week or something. But it just doesn't come that simply. If you don't do this job for at least a few years, you aren't going to understand what you're talking about when you're trying to tell someone that does this professionally how to handle any kind of a call. So I want to make training that comes from us for us. And then I want to have those conversations, like I said, with citizens and everybody else. They can kind of understand where we're coming from, how we feel, what we think. And like I said, I want it to be honest and true. What you say behind the mic, what you say when the mute switch is on, what you feel and think about all kinds of things out there. And not just related to the job alone, but also related to the world and life in general. I'd like there to be conversations about just normal life, things that have nothing to do with 911 dispatch, but they do have to do with how a 911 dispatcher thinks or feels about those things. Because I think we obviously have a different perspective and a different view on the world because of the world that we see. We see things others don't see, or at least we hear things others don't hear, and we know things others don't know. Our perspective is different. But to get to the point, the purpose of this video is just to see what kind of interest is out there. I don't know if anyone's listening. I don't know how many people will listen. I don't know how many people will actually chime in. But I'd like to know, if you are listening, if you would like to listen, what things you'd be interested in. Is it more training stuff? Is it about how to get into the 911 world? Is it just simple questions about war stories, tough calls, whatever that is? That's what I want to find out from this. Chime in, let me know what you think might be interesting, what you think might not be interesting. And don't worry about telling me how you really feel or that I just sound like crap. I'm totally fine with listening and hearing that. That's kind of the point of all of this, is something that's more honest and true. So you stop by. I appreciate you listening to me. And if you don't mind, tell me what you think might be interesting to hear, talk about, do. And in the future, the videos may not just be slides of things. I may actually put my ugly mug in there, or maybe I'll just make up an avatar and go that route. But you can also give me your opinion on that. So you did stop by. Thanks. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. Bye.